Day baseball here in Cincinnati under sunny skies as we wrap up this four-game series, Giants and Reds. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants can take the series with a win today, and they will hand the ball to a guy who's had a tough time pitching on the road, and that's Todd Wellemeyer.
Well, Todd Wellemeyer's toughness on the road is because he hasn't had great command with his stuff. And the key in this ballpark, because it is so offensive, is you have to throw strikes. So that will be something we watch very closely. But again, it boils down to one thing. If you're going to beat the Reds, you're going to have to outbang them, plain and simple.
So the Giants will go with Todd Wellemeyer here in the final game of this series. When we come back, we'll have the lineups in the first pitch right after this.
Yes.
It is a picture-perfect day here in Cincinnati, the final game of this four-game series. Our game time weather is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. 81 degrees here at the ballpark. Light winds at 7 miles per hour. The humidity is at 46%. And it is partly cloudy, but not too cloudy. Let's take a look at the Giants lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Pretty familiar. It'll be Torres, Sanchez, and then Sandoval, Aubrey Huff, the cleanup hitter. Wanaribe, fifth. Buster Posey, his first big league home run last night. He's 5 for 10 in the series. Molina, Rowan eighth, Wellemeyer ninth.
Defensively for the Cincinnati Reds, they'll have Gomes, Stubbs, and Bruce. That's your outfield. Roland and Yanish on the left side of the infield. Phillips and Votto on the right side. And Ramon Hernandez, the veteran, doing the catching for the Rook. That's right, the Rook. Mike Leake never pitched an inning in the minor leagues. And this is what he has done. He's making his 12th start, 5-0 with a 2.22 ERA. 65 hits allowed in 73 innings. He's got a low three-quarter release with a fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, excellent curveball. And he throws strikes, works quick.
So we get underway at 12:35. Andres Torres hitting at 295. 2 balls and no strikes. Home plate umpire Bruce Dreckman, who will be doing the honors. Paul Emmel, Bill Hahn, Gary Darling. They will round out the 4-man crew, and a strike to Torres to make it 2-1.
Not going to see a lot of volume on the fastball from Mike Leake, but he is going to be able to put movement on it. He'll cut and sink it. Fields his position well, holds runners on well. I mean, that's the thing that elevates you quickly. And the Reds deemed that he didn't need any polish because he did all the little things right. Good athlete.
Plus he can hit.
6'1", 190-pound right-hander from Fallbrook, California.
You know where that is?
I do.
Let's check.
Down there by Temecula, close to San Diego.
And that's how this game gets started, with a strikeout to Torres.
Right now we're going to take a look at our Toyota keys to the game. And Wellemeyer, well, he's a Kentucky neighbor, and he's got about 30 friends and family in the ballpark today, so let's hope he does well for them.
Well, he pitches good at home.
Well, and yeah, so this is kind of his home deal. Make Mike Leake work. Make him throw some strikes. The guy's a guy who will always be around the plate, and if you want to help Wellemeyer out, you want to help relax, score early. Those are our Toyota keys to the game.
Sanchez at 338. He's got 9 runs batted in. He's 9 for 25 on this road trip. Had a good trip.
If every time he hit the ball hard, he'd have a base hit, he'd be like 21 for 25.
Well, there's your strike zone for today. Just so everybody knows, 2 outs.
Well, Bruce Dreckman's got a low zone, and it can go wide, but you have to prove to him you can throw strikes. If you keep the ball between the catcher's knees, he will go with you. That is a pitcher's strike, folks.
So here's Sandoval. Sandoval hitting at 280, 4 home runs, 23 driven in. And he doesn't waste any time as he fouls this one down the left field line and out of play. Sandoval last night took an 0 for 4. On this road trip, 6 for 26 for the Giants switch hitter. Here he pulls this one just foul.
A lot required if you're a ball dude here in Cincinnati. I mean, you got to get up, pick up your chair, make a play.
Yeah, you're not allowed to put the chair down to make a play. You got to keep that in your hand.
Let's check out this guy as we watch the foul ball off of the Panda's bat. All right, here we go. Got it. He's got it all down.
Two and two to Sandoval. And Sandoval with a solid single up the middle. With 2 outs, Aubrey Huff coming up.
So Leak will not throw a no-hitter today.
Will not.
And you will see a lot of ground balls from Mike Leak. As I mentioned, he's got movement on his fastball, and he understands it. He's got sink and he's got cut. And he's just 22 years old.
Here's Aubrey Huff at 295.
And Mike Leake might be the greatest getaway day pitcher in the history of the game.
Yeah, likes to get it and go. Down the right field line, a fair ball. Sandoval's on the move. Ball rattles around, and now it stops. And here comes the Panda. Panda is going to score as the throw goes to third. And the Giants catch a break. It started to roll out of that corner, and then it hit something.
Well, Jay Bruce knows this field. And he positioned himself to play the carom off the wall as it sort of wrapped around the arced curvature in the fence, and then it stuck. And with 2 outs, Pablo Sandoval going on the play. And once it stuck, Tim Flannery says we're going to try for it. And it wound up being an easy stand-up score for the Panda, although he almost had a heart attack.
Started to leak a little, but recovered. Uribe skies this one foul. And it's no balls and 1 strike.
Talked about Wellenmeyer, and he's had some control problems on the road, and the one key, if you could get him some early runs, give him a little confidence and get in that strike zone, it could really make his command problems diminish.
Inside to Uribe. 277 for the Giants shortstop. He's got 9 home runs. He's got 38 RBIs.
Leak staying on that inside corner, trying to crowd him.
Two pitches in, that one away. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Buster Posey's on deck. So a couple of strikeouts started out this inning, but then a single by Sandoval and a double by Huff. And Posey's going to hit.
I think that should have been one of our Toyota keys, to get Posey up in the first inning.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I expect you to do a little better tomorrow.
Posey at 450, a home run, 6 RBIs.
He had 6 multi-hit games out of 11 starts.
Chopper over the mound. Phillips will flip to Giannis, and that'll end the inning. Giants pick up a run. Is the Panda bringing it on in. See what he's done in this series. 6 for 10 with 4 extra base hits. Gomes, Jay Bruce, 7th will be Stubbs, Hernandez 8th, Leak 9th.
Let's check out the #1 rated defense in the National League. Giants have Huff, Rowand, and Torres. That's your outfield. Uribe and Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Sanchez and Posey on the right side. Benji Molina, well, he'll be in the squad, putting down the fingers. And the gentleman he'll be catching will be the Kentucky native Todd Wellemeyer from about an hour down the road in Louisville. The 6'2", 215 right-hander in his 7th year. Making start number 11, 3-5 on the year. 52 hits and 34 walks, 86 base runners and 56 2/3, and that explains the ERA at 5.72. His command needs to improve. He can 2 and 4 seam the fastball. He's got a slider curve and a circle changeup, and his velocity will be low 90s.
Phillips hitting .290.
That pitch right there was not far off the strike zone. If Benji Molina was sitting up on the outside corner and that ball goes between his knees, that's a strike with Bruce Dreckman, plate umpire.
Phillips fouls it back. He's 1 for 10 lifetime against Wellemeyer. Cabrera 4 for 5 last night in that leadoff spot with 3 doubles. Bochy was hoping that maybe Cabrera would take the day off today, and he did.
You would think a guy goes 4 for 5, he'd want to get right back in the.
Probably did, but Dusty Baker's like, nope. It's your day off, pal. 1-2 to Phillips. Popped up. Andres Torres. 1 out. By the way, happy birthday to Eric Smith from our PR department.
Big E?
Yep.
How old is he?
You know what? I'm going to guess late 40s.
Yeah, that's what I'd have guessed. According to his hairline.
He was an intern until he was 42.
Yeah. Some guys mature a little late.
Giannis hitting .281 with a home run, 6 RBIs.
Todd Wellemeyer, 6'2", 215 pounds, and those are your pitcher stats brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers.
So a strike to Giannis, who's 1 for 3 lifetime against Wellemeyer. The one hit a home run. On a breaking ball, he rolls it foul. Because the Dodgers have just thrown a hurting on the St. Louis Cardinals. The Reds are now in first place, a game up on the Cardinals. Dodgers have won 4 straight. It's the National League Central. Cubs got a shot to get back in it. I'm sure the Brewers think they do too. But right now it's all St. Louis, all Cincinnati in the Central. Out of play. Well, the early story so far is Wellemeyer's in the strike zone.
Yeah, he's definitely throwing knee-high control. It's not quite between the knees cheese, but it's much improved from his last arm stroke in Pittsburgh. He had a problem demanding and commanding. I mean, you know, that's the thing about Wellemeyer. It can frustrate you because he's got good stuff. I mean, everything he has is crisp. He's got late movement. He gets a lot of ground balls. It's a matter of being able to command it. And he's looking right in at Dreckman saying, wait a second. Call that pitch a strike in the top half of this inning. How about a little love? Here's the payoff pitch. See you later. And that's the thing about Dreckman that drives you crazy, is that he can be inconsistent. You don't want to get a reputation in this league as a hometown umpire, meaning you have one zone for the home team and one for the visitors. It's not a good reputation to have.
Here's Joey Votto. Swing and a miss by Votto. Giannis doesn't have a steal, but doesn't mean Dusty Baker might not send him. Inside snap throw to first. Diving back is Giannis.
I think too, umpires are fans. They follow this game, and if they know a guy's got a reputation for throwing strikes, they'll go in there and they'll anticipate strikes. And likewise, if he doesn't have a reputation for being a control guy, they'll be a little bit harder on him. They won't give him early corners. You really have to prove to him during that outing that you can throw strikes to get him.
Balls and a strike now to Joey Votto. 11 home runs, 36 driven in. Two and two.
And he's throwing two fastballs right by Joey Votto. You put that on your resume, you get a pretty good job. Giants have done well with Votto. Another look. Man, it's a great swing, but here he gets out front, reaching a little bit. Two swing throughs and on fastballs. Amazing.
Moving back is Aubrey Huff. 2 outs here in the first. Here's Scott Rowland. Rowland's become a favorite here in Cincinnati, and why wouldn't you be, with an average over 300, 14 home runs, 42 driven in. Last night, 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs. He had 2 doubles last night. And the pitch is high and wide. 1 ball and no strikes. Wellemeyer now deals to Rowland, and Rowland bounces it to Uribe, and that'll be a 6-4 putout to end the inning. No runs, a walk, 1 left. After 1-0 Giants.
Against the Orioles, $6. We're not kidding. You can take advantage of the dynamic deal of the week. All you have to do is go to sfgiants.com, buy early and save large.
Molina on the first pitch fouls it out of play. Bottom 3 in the Giants lineup: Molina, Rowe, and Wellemeyer. An early 1-0 lead for San Francisco. Oh, 0-2.
Nice tight little slider. Falling out of the strike zone, gets Molina to chase.
Molina skies one out to Jay Bruce. 1 out.
Well, Bloomberg Sports, the leader in data analysis, has developed an analytical product being used by baseball clubs, and there's also a product for fans. You can improve your fantasy play or just track your favorite player or team. All you have to do is go to BloombergSports.com for details.
Aaron Rowan hitting .225 with 5 home runs, 22 RBIs. Rowan skies one to left. Back is Gomes, and it is out of here. And the Giants lead 2-0.
We're going to make that our Dodge Ram drive of the game. And a guy the Giants have to get going, and that's a great start. A couple days off here, he gets a start. First AB leaves Earth, and it's our Dodge Ram drive of the game. Home run number 6 for Aaron Rowan. Middle end, backspin it, no doubt about this one.
Here's Wellemeyer. Wellemeyer takes a strike. For Leake, that's the 5th home run that he's given up. And in this ballpark, that's not a lot. Wellemeyer retired, 2 outs.
You know, there's never has been any question in the argument as to how strong this guy is. I mean, he is strong with a compact swing. And when he allows that ball to get to him, his route to the ball so quick. He can hit the ball as far as anybody.
Torres struck out in the first. He led off the ball game. I mentioned the other day how this ballpark was a lot like Coors Field in the pre-Humidor days. I mean, this happened. The Reds, they're down 2-0. That's just ho-hum.
Oh, yeah, not a problem. And that's why when you have a big inning early, you got to keep going. You can't relax as an offense. Not one inning here. You can't ever feel like you've got enough runs. In this park against this Reds offense,
No swing. It's 3-2 to Torres.
Mike Leake does not Jimmy Jack around. He gets it. He goes. He's got a plan. Let's see why Dusty Baker likes this kid.
Here's Sanchez.
Here's that automatic situation. We think get a leadoff hitter getting a 2-out walk. It's time to go.
Torres is 11 out of 13 in the stolen base department. Sanchez struck out looking in the first.
Dusty Baker anticipating that Torres is going to steal, just like we are. We mentioned Mike Leake is a pitcher that does all the little things well. I mean, he's very quick out of the stretch.
First pitch breaking ball, no balls and 1 strike. Phillips really shading Sanchez in the middle of the diamond to pull. And scored in the first after Torres and Sanchez had struck out. Pulled on the ground to third. And Scott Rowland, the sure-handed third baseman, throws him out. Aaron Rowan with his 6th home run of the year. It finds the bleachers in left, and it's bye-bye baby, and it's 2-0 Giants. Johnny Gomes, Jay Bruce, and Drew Stubbs. First pitch is wide to Johnny Gomes. terrific year Johnny Gomes is having. 299. He's got 40 RBIs as he pops this one over by the Reds dugout, and Buster Posey will rush over, but it'll be out of play. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Gomes 1 for 2 last night with 3 runs batted in. He hit that 40 mark in RBIs last night. In tight. On his hands and a souvenir. And it's 2-2.
He's planting that thing right on his fist. Guy with power, I mean, that's where you want to pound him. You want to pound his hands. Inside corner. Gomes pretty aggressive hitter. He's only got 16 walks, 167 at bats.
A rebate near the bag. 1 out. Well, check out Chronicle Live. When can you do that? Well, you can do it at 5 and 11. It'll be hosted by Greg Papa. And a lot of NFL talk, Sharks talk. And Ann Killian's going to be on Chronicle Live with Greg Papa. Jay Bruce, Reds right fielder, takes one wide. With Drew Stubbs on deck. 1 base runner for the Reds, a walk to Paul Janisch in the first inning. Bruce with the first hit for the Reds as he singles to right. And here's Drew Stubbs.
We were impressed last night with the swing of the bat that Drew Stubbs had against Sergio Romo. A high fastball and took it right out to center field. An impressive home run. We already knew this guy could run. He's got some good tools, but we didn't know he had that kind of power.
.246 average. Fouls it back as he goes after that first pitch. This is what you're talking about, Mike, last night.
Yeah, the pitch was up. Boy, I mean, it got up. It stayed hit for a long time. Almost hit the facing of the restaurant out in dead center. Good pitch. Littlemeyer's got to think, what do I have to do? Put that thing between the catcher's knees, he doesn't move his glove, you're thinking you're going to get the reward from the umpire. Let's take a look at it. Good pitch.
Sliding back in is Jay Bruce. He does have 5 steals. Five steals does not make you a base stealer, but it does give you a little indication that Dusty Baker's not afraid to send them. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Two nothing Giants here in the second inning. Getaway day for the Giants. Reds will stay at home as they will host the Kansas City Royals. Interleague action back at it tomorrow as Stubbs strikes out swinging. First strikeout for Wellemeyer.
Boy, Wellemeyer's got a good fastball. That's another swing through on the strike on the fastball. This has been going on since the very first inning. He's throwing it right by these guys first time through the lineup. So Drew Stubbs just got his jump shot blocked.
Here's Ramon Hernandez. It was Corky Miller last night. Hernandez had the night off. By the way, a little more on the Reds schedule. Monday will be a day off, and then coming to town, the Los Angeles Dodgers. So here's Hernandez. .290, 2 home runs, 14 driven in for Hernandez. Good pitch to Hernandez, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, he's one of those guys I think is a perfect hitter for the 8 spot. He's kind of laying in the bushes down there. You know, with an 8 hitter in the National League, you don't get a lot of protection. And you've got to be able to expand your zone. You've got to be able to corner hit. And I think one of the keys to being a successful hitter in that 8 hole is you got to go where the pitch is located. If you try to pull outside pitches, you're going to have a rough year. If you go with that pitch to right as a right-handed hitter, you're going to do fine. And that's one of his strengths. He uses the whole field. Plus, he's got a little pop down there.
Indeed, he does.
In the last 2 weeks, he's been hot. Hit 342, 13 for 38 with a couple of big flies. You get an 8 hitter doing that, it's scary.
Good swing by Hernandez. It's 1-2. And we have a visitor on that wire.
Bird on the wire.
Very scary when my partner has a new toy.
I love this job.
Very scary. 1-2 to Hernandez. Hernandez pokes this one foul.
That's an example of what I'm talking about, going with the location.
Yeah, that was the Benji Molino extendo swing.
I think he went to the Benji Molino extendo school to get that swing. A lot of similarities in their style. They set up on the inside corner. This thing goes the other side of the plate. And we'll see that a lot with Wilmeyer. Normally, it hasn't happened a lot today. He's been between the knees for the most part. And it gives you an idea of just how far off the plate that Hernandez can get to. I think the inside pitch is still there if they want it.
Hammer to left. Huff coming in, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Inning number 3 coming up. The Dodgers and Mets games, and the best part about it, it's just $129. Go to sfgiants.com, and we'll see you at the ballpark against the Red Sox.
At the yard.
Here's Sandoval. Sandoval takes a strike. Sandoval, Huff, and Uribe here in the first, or in the third. Giants scored a run in the first. And Leak with a quick 0-2 to Pablo Sandoval. Outside.
Outside, inside, outside. So important to be able to move your pitches around.
Sandoval just got a piece of it.
Take a look at some of the movement. This little slider, very, very tight. It's got 2-plane break.
Sandoval lifts it to right. Moving back is Bruce. Still moving back. And he makes the catch at the wall.
Wow. And they go back inside. And he catches this one a little bit off the sweet spot. Had lots of height on it. And how close was it to a big fly? Close. That ball's out at AT&T.
Here's Aubrey Huff. Huff drives one to right. This baby is way back. Out of here. Into the bullpen. 3-0 Giants.
First pitch he sees off Mike Leake. The Giants continue to peck away.
Home run number 8 for Huff, and the second on this road trip.
Boy, he just dropped a head on that bad boy. He'll look for a pitch, and he'll look for a location. This is right there across the plate. Knee high. See you later.
Here's Uribe. Uribe drew a walk in the first. There's that outside corner that Leake is looking for. 1 ball and 1 strike.
He's got nice command, that little backdoor sinker.
Hey, Leake didn't give me enough time to look at my scorecard.
He's rock and roll and do the stroll, Dad. He just gets it and goes.
And that's a fair ball past Scott Rowland. Uribe will stop at second base with a double.
You know, a quick pace is good, but you've got to also be aware of rhythm. And if an inning is starting to go against you, you got to start slowing things down a little bit. Right now, they're laying out some ropes. Well, Giants baseball is brought to you by Supercuts. You can save money without looking like it. I love that.
It is a good one. Here's Buster Posey.
Aubrey Huff goes to Supercuts.
Yeah, so does Sandoval in Pittsburgh. Buster Posey bounced out in the first. First pitch strike. A little bit of a hang time on the breaking ball. No balls and 1 strike. On deck for the Giants, Benji Molina. Foul back, and it's 1-2.
Right on it. Good swing. Set up in the inside corner again, a little leaky out over the plate. You can see the reach back by Hernandez, the catcher. That's a play. That's a pitch on a 1-1 count. If you want to start an inside corner, let your movement take it off the plate inside. You don't want to miss out over the plate. You got away with one there.
Posey lines it into left field, a base hit, and holding up is Uribe, as Gomes will get it back in. And Buster Posey with a solid single to left, keeps his hands back.
Talk about just letting your hands do the talking, and that's, you can just see how heavy the head is on his bat. We talk about how light a grip he puts on the wood, and he gets great speed through the point of contact, and that bat head is heavy. It's just a great example, just throwing the head to the ball and getting yourself a knock. You may say, why did Flannery not send him in this ballpark? In this ballpark, you know, they play short corner outfielders. They very often, by the time they get to the ball, they don't have much of a throw.
Yep.
So I think third base coaches will play a little more conservatively.
2 outs, he sends them.
Yeah.
Molina will try to get the ball in the air. With Uribe at third, Posey at first.
You would think this is a pretty good matchup. Just about everything Leake throws winds up down around the knees, and Molina, a good low ball hitter. That's his strength. If anybody can elevate knee-high sink on this Giants club, it's Benji Molina.
Posey goes, swing and a miss, throw down to second, And this is not going to turn out well for the Giants. It is. Is Posey safe?
Well, Bruce Bochy wanted to stay out of a double play. Puts a hit and run on. He's watching the league throw strike after strike all around the plate. So he puts the hit and run on. And the Giants are hung out with Posey, who had to make sure that he went to home. He didn't get much of a jump, but here's where they get lucky. Joey Votto could not hang on to the ball, and everybody's safe, and we'll do it again.
One and two to Molina.
Well, look how wide Hernandez is.
And a ground ball to the left field, a base hit. Coming in to score is Uribe, and it's 4-0.
Now that's the extendo swing you're talking about, Kipe, and that's something that Molina has mastered and has impressed Giants fans for many years. Look at the target. His glove is completely off the plate. And that ball starts in the outside corner, falls out below the knees, and he still gets out there and hooks it to left. Amazing extension and hand strength from Benji Molina to knock in the run and extend the inning.
Here's Brian Price, Dusty Baker's pitching coach. With Aaron Rowan at the plate. Rowan hit a solo home run in the second. Breaking ball, 0-1. Todd Wellemeyer to follow. Giants with 4 runs on 7 hits. Rowan chops it foul. This is the home run that Rowan hit with 1 out in the second.
A sinker that did sink middle in. And Rowan, who sat the last couple days, got to feel pretty happy about that swing of the bat.
Ooh, 2-2.
Just missed. And League taking a long look into Bruce Dreckman, plate umpire. Got to be careful if you're a rookie taking a long look at an umpire.
Rowan stays alive. His next pitch will be number 60 for Leake. Now Rowan rarely steps out, does so here with a count 2-2, waiting on Leake and Hernandez to get on the same page. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Three and 2. Micah Owings is up in the Reds bullpen. Can't really see that. We can only believe when someone tells us if that's true. 3 and 2 to Rowan. And the walk.
Third walk given by Mike Leake.
That's a good at bat.
It's a great at bat. There you see the enclosed bullpen of the Cincinnati Reds. You can see the feet of, or the legs of Micah Owings.
Wellemeyer does not have an RBI this year. Takes a strike and it's 0-1. Does have a couple of hits. He's 2 for 19 on the season.
Wow, that is way off the zone.
Wellmeyer, possible double play ball. That's one and a pair, and that'll end the inning. Aubrey Huff with a solo shot. It's bye-bye baby, and it's 4-0 Giants.
Side, and it took a long time to walk back in the dugout. He sat down with Dave Gresham, the Giants head trainer. He tried to stretch it. He was in obvious pain, and then Dave Gresham signaled to Bruce Bochy he's done. So it now becomes a bullpen game. And the Giants going to ask their bullpen to try and eat up 7 innings. And they should be in pretty good shape to be able to do that.
And Batista will get as much time as he needs. And as you said, Wellmeyer's throwing good.
Well, that is a shame. I mean, this is today. It was the first time all year on the road that he was throwing like he was at home and at AT&T. I mean, he really had command of the fastball. So that's a blow. So it's Denny Bautista now who will be able to take as many pitches as he wants as he casually works himself back to the mound. He doesn't look like he's in any hurry, and he doesn't have to be.
No.
You have an injury coming out of the bullpen, you can take as many throws as you want.
All right, as Denny Batista gets loose, we're going to take a break. We are in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's 4-0 Giants.
11th time he's come into a game. The numbers are good. 21 strikeouts and 13 1/3, and he's a flamethrower. With Denny Bautista, it's always a matter of being able to command that fastball because it is a good one. It's a mid to high 90s fastball. It's got a 3/4, low 3/4 release. And Bautista has a hard slider, which is his primary strikeout pitch. He also has a curveball and a change. We haven't seen much of those. But when his fastball is good, I mean, he'll stick with that. That's how good it can be.
Well, when they made the rules that you can take your time getting loose.
Yeah.
Denny Batista said, well, I'm just going to follow those rules.
Well, he threw 15 pitches before he even got to the rubber. It was great watching home plate umpire Bruce Dreckman. He was not digging it. It's getaway day for the umpires, too.
Yeah. All right. I think Denny Batista just said 2 more.
Giants having a good road trip, and one big reason for it is the defense of Andres Torres. And we're going to take a timeout for Home Depot doing more on defense and show you some of the plays that he has made on this road trip. Monday, he goes back, and that was in the 9th inning, 1-run ball game. That was the first out. Tuesday, he comes in, and it takes a base hit away. And then this perhaps an even more difficult play because it was a knuckleball hit off the bat of Ramon Hernandez, and he wrestled that one down and had the same type of defensive series in Pittsburgh. Home Depot, more saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Here's Mike Leake leading off here in the bottom of the 3rd against Batista. And as we mentioned, Leake can hit. He's 10 for 24. Be Phillips and then Giannis, the 3 hitters for the Reds in the 3rd. 2 balls and no strikes. If you're Denny Batista with a 4-run lead, you have to throw strikes.
Yeah, you have to throw strikes. Well, he's not trying to put a lot of corner to his pitches. He's just trying to go right across the throat. You can imagine how frustrating it must be for Todd Wellmeyer. I mean, we mentioned he's from Kentucky. He's got a big pass list here today. He's got a 4-run lead, and he was dealing, and he gets injured.
As part of the family members of Todd Wellemeyer, there's a strike to Leake. Phillips watching from the on-deck circle, 3-1. And not close. Here's Phillips. Phillips popped out in the first inning.
You walk a pitcher, then you throw something that could go either way, and you're not going to get it. And quickly behind 1-0 to Phillips. One thing about Batista is he can get you a ground ball. He's got some sinking. He can keep it down around the knees. Right now, he's going to get on top of his pitches.
2-0.
And Bruce Bochy just started to do the dugout dance.
Yep. Benjamin Molina is going to have a heart-to-heart.
And I think what he's going to tell him is, yo, check the scoreboard. You can't be nibbling here. And, you know, I don't think that Bautista's trying to nibble. He just doesn't have command of his release point right now. And he's just all over the place. And the longer it goes before you find it, the harder it is to find it.
Phillips in the driver's seat, 2 balls and no strikes. And a strike, 2-1. Phillips looked like he was taking all the way.
And the Giants don't really have a long man that they can count on for one time through the lineup, which is what a responsibility is for a long man. Ideally, they'd love to be able to get 2 or 3 innings out of Bautista, but he's got to throw strikes in order to get there.
And a base hit to right field past Sanchez. And here's Giannis. Second hit for the Reds, the first off of Bautista.
And when you're so concerned about your mechanics and just trying to throw a strike, you know, you don't really compete. You don't really pitch to a hitter, swing to the holes in the swing. You're just trying to throw it up there to get into the zone. And Brandon Phillips taking advantage of the gift. And you got to tip your caps to Phillips. I mean, he didn't try to do too much. He didn't try to hit the 5-run homer. Nice opposite field base hit.
A bunt. Everybody's going to be safe. Right now, this inning really isn't going too well for the Giants. Or for Denny Bautista.
Now Dusty Baker playing for runs, trying to get guys in score position, stay out of the double play. And here's where you get lucky. Giannis pops it up. And Denny Bautista, despite a pretty good effort, can't come up with a play, and the Reds got it going.
A walk to the pitcher. Phillips a base hit. And a bunt single. Nobody out and the bases are loaded. And the hitter is Joey Votto.
And here comes the thunder.
Votto fouls it straight back, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Scott Rowland and then Johnny Gomes. Down and in to even the count at a ball and a strike. Giants will trade a run for 2 outs as they play for the double play with Joey Votto at the plate. A ball and a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And he really hasn't established that he's throwing anything other than the fastball. So for the heart of the Reds lineup, who feast on fastballs, you know exactly what they're looking for. And there was the slider. That's exactly what he needs to do. He needs to establish in their minds that he's going to throw other pitches off that fastball. A 2-1 slider and a good one. Falls off the plate down in. You can go right back in there again. Same pitch.
Leake, Phillips, and Giannis are your base runners with nobody out. Three and two.
Not close. An easy take. And that's the thing about a 2-2 pitch, man. That's your one shot as a pitcher, to be able to go to a corner, let your movement fall out of the zone, let a guy chase. But when you're that far wide, it's an easy take. Joey Votto spit on that one. And Bautista has definitely gotten this crowd into this game.
Three and two. Not close.
And that's going to bring out Dave Righetti. There is no defense for a bases loaded walk. Bruce Bochy, I mean, he had to go down to the Giants clubhouse. A walk, 2 singles, and a walk. And you got the #1 RBI guy for the Reds stepping in the batter's box.
Romo's getting loose in the Giants bullpen. Roland bounced out to Juan Uribe in the first. Andres Torres circling. He is going to go to third, and it's cut off by Uribe. And coming in to score is Phillips.
Now, the situation was such. I mean, that's what Roland wanted to accomplish. Get at least one of those runs in. You're looking for something to get in the air. And he does it on the first pitch.
So here's Gomes. Gomes bounced out to Uribe. And a strike. No, I beg your pardon. No ball. Make it 1 ball and no strikes.
How close was it? Close. Track him again. Could be a little tight.
Foul.
Phew, that was close. It doesn't have to land in fair territory. It just has to go over the bag. And that was extremely close. It hit the chalk line before the bag and then just hooked foul. Gary Darden, the third base umpire, making the call. But clearly, Johnny Gomes not fooled. The ball was crushed.
The 1-1. Topped. Uribe charging. Uribe could not get it out of his glove. It'll be an infield hit.
Well, that's a leg RBI from Johnny Gomes. It's amazing how fast the guy can get down the line when he's sniffing an RBI and a base hit. A little sloppy exchange, and that's all Gomes needed. And the inning prolongs.
And here's Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce singled in the second. For Bautista, this will be his 21st pitch in the dirt, and Benji Molina will keep it close. It's a 4-3 ball game. A walk, a single, a bunt single, a walk, a sacrifice fly, and an infield hit.
Yeah, it's worse than that. It's a walk to the pitcher, the first guy you faced, with a 4-run lead. That's the unforgivable. It just seems like every guy he's faced this inning, it's been 1-0, 2-0. He's been behind. He does not look comfortable. And he's one big swing of the bat from giving it all up. And he's pitching to a guy with power, and he's got a 2-0 count.
On the ground, into right field, a base hit. Here comes Torres. His throw, not in time, and this game is tied. And the Reds have the lead run at third base.
Now, Bruce Bochy would have loved to have been able to take out Denny Bautista. He's not happy with anything that he's seeing, but he's got to get some innings out of him. The bullpen last night threw 3 innings. They had a complete game in game 2 of the series from Matt Cain, which rested the pen. But still, when your pen's got to eat up a bunch, you got to get something out of the first guy in. And 1 out ain't much.
Oh, 0-1 to Stubbs, who struck out in his only other at bat.
You can't just rear back and try and throw it by these Reds hitters. You got to pitch. You got to mix movement with location.
Oh, 0-1 to Stubbs. Gomes at third, Bruce at first. 0-2.
Those are 2 best fastballs he's throwing. Stubbs has seen 296 mile-an-hour fastballs.
Got him.
And went 97 above the hands. I mean, he still threw away from the target. They set up outside the knees of one of being a great pitch up and in. Look at the target outside. This thing goes up and in above the hands. So not crisp with the command, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Of course, when you throw 97 behind it, you don't have to have that pinpoint of control.
Hernandez lined out to left field in the second. Both walks in this inning have scored. Hernandez takes a strike. So back-to-back hitters now. Batista has got out in front.
Makes such a difference.
Breaking ball, 0-2.
That's what it allows you to do. I mean, you get a strike one. Now you can throw your other pitches. Batista's always been a guy who's thought off the fastball, and he's got four things he can do with the baseball. You're not going to see a curveball or slider or a curveball or a changeup unless he's in an 0-1, 1-2, 0-2 count. Just doesn't have the belief or the control of those pitches.
Gomes at third. Bruce at first. Now it's a 4-4 ball game. Two and two. Leak is now coming out. He's in the on-deck circle. This is the 9th man to hit here in the third inning. Three and two. On the move will be Jay Bruce. Popped him up. It'll be Uribe. And that'll end the inning. Reds have tied it up. It's 4-4.
On June 27th, 1985, here in Cincinnati, what former Giant, a 10-year veteran, recorded a hit in his final career at bat?
Here's Andres Torres. It'll be Torres, Sanchez, and Sandoval against Mike Leake. And the first pitch lifted out to left, and diving and not catching is Johnny Gomes.
Boy, that was a break.
I'm wondering why Andres Torres stopped running.
That's a great question. Just that he thought it was caught. There you see the effort from Johnny Gomes, a really tremendous effort. But just could not keep it in the pocket of his glove. Boy, he lays out totally parallel to the ground, but he can't hang on. And you watch Torres, I mean, he's going out there thinking gapper, and right here he drops anchor. And then it's too late.
Here's Sanchez, 0 for 2. Sanchez with a bunt, and he bunts it foul.
When you're going to push bunt or drag bunt, is it easier to get a fastball or a breaking ball?
Breaking ball. Breaking ball.
In that case, he had a good pitch to bunt.
0-1 to Sanchez. Sanchez struck out looking in the first, bounced out to Roland in the second.
Why'd you like a breaking ball more than a fastball?
It's just the lack of velocity. It's easier to deaden. One ball and one strike. And now Leake steps off. We watched Sanchez in batting practice take half of his at-bats to right field. I'd like to do that right here with that big gap between Votto and Phillips. But he's not going to get it there. They get one there, and that's it. Sanchez beats it out.
I mean, that's the difference. Had Torres been able to take that extra base and not stop at first, then you're talking about a runner at third, less than 2 outs. It's a whole different scenario. It's a game of little things. But on the positive side, they do stay out of double play with Sanchez being able to beat out the back end.
Sandoval is singled, and then he missed a home run by 4 feet. Breaks his bat, flips one out to Phillips, and Phillips is not going to catch it. And now Sanchez is going to have to hustle into second base.
Sanchez has had some, Freddie Sanchez just got a tough ball to try and gauge from a runner. That puts you in a rock and a hard place. You can't get too far away from first base for fear that ball might get caught. You won't want to get doubled up.
Now here's Aubrey Huff.
See, he kind of stops, starts, and has to slide into second.
Aubrey Huff hit a home run into the Giants bullpen in the 3rd inning. Sanchez at second, Sandoval at first. There is no way Brendan Phillips can get to second, turning a double play. There's a strike. If there's a grounder to Scott Rowland, I have to believe Janisch has got it covered. One ball and one strike. Oh, Huff got out of the way of that one. He might not either.
I agree with you. I don't think he knows how. This thing's going right at his boiler. And it was a little cutter that would just kept heat seeking right into him. Ooh, good pitch. And Mike Leake takes a turn now, staring in at Dreckman. A lot of these coin toss pitches have been going towards the hitters. They haven't really been going towards the pitchers today.
3-1 pitch to Huff. He walked. No, I beg your pardon.
Now, see, now everybody screwed up. Nobody knows where the strike zone is, and I think Huff's telling them that. See, you just called one a minute ago, and that's not a strike. And watch Aubrey Huff.
3-2 pitch. Runners are going. Line foul.
Ooh, look out down there. You know, all you can ask for from an umpire is just be consistent. And even if your zone is small and tight, be consistent with it. But in the same at bat, Leake throws a pitch out that was really close, could have been called a strike, ball. And then he comes back and he throws one out a little bit farther outside and it's called a strike. Clearly Dreckman thinking he missed a call and he tried to even up the count. But it doesn't do anybody any good. Once you miss a pitch, you miss a pitch. Trying to go back and make it even, it doesn't do anything but compound problems. Because right now, Aubrey Huff, he's got to get out and he's got to cover a foot off the plate away. He can't trust Dreckman to call it a ball.
3-2. See if the runners go again. They do not. And Huff fouls it again down the right field line. This was the home run Aubrey Huff hit in the 3rd.
Ball right out of the plate, down knee high. He just went and golfed it up, put some backspin, and watched it sail. And Leake doesn't give up a lot of home runs. He'd only given up 4 coming into today's ball game.
3-2. Foul back. Juan Uribe watching from the on-deck circle. 3-2. And they're loaded. Uribe has walked and he's doubled. Uribe loves that first pitch, especially with runners in scoring position. On the ground. They get one there. The throw to first. They got him. What a great play by Giannis. It ends up a 6-4-3 double play, and it stays tied.
Consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates LP.
Juan Uribe with a pretty good at bat. The problem is he had it taken away from him by the shortstop, Paul Giannis. Giannis with a nice backhanded dive. Gets off a good feed to Phillips. But then there's a problem at this end. Uribe was safe. So as my partner likes to say, Mr. Paul Emo, there goes your perfect game. As Leake swings and misses, no balls and one strike.
Close play. Definitely one that'll break your heart. Difference is it's a 5-4 ball game, 2 outs, runners at first and third, and the Giants have Buster Posey up. They don't get that opportunity now.
Leake led off the third inning with a walk against Danny Batista. However, this is about a little different. He's now behind 0-2.
Rusty Baker talks about how good an athlete Leake is. Was a shortstop at Arizona State. Do a lot of things, and that includes swing the bat. You saw the bloated batting average of .417.
Tops this one. Batista gets him on a close play.
And he can also run. Well, as Leake heads back to the Reds dugout, what do you say we ask and answer our trivia question brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible on June 27th, 1985, right here in Cincinnati. What former Giant recorded a hit in his final career at bat? Well, it was our own Dwayne Kuiper. Hit a pinch hit single off Tom Hume. It was a bullet.
It was a signature base hit describing my career. Here's Phillips. It was an infield hit.
It was a swing and bunt, but it was a solid swing and bunt.
There's a strike to Phillips.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh, 0-2.
Day game. Shadows across the infield.
Yeah. Pete Rose got a late jump on it. Bad flip to Tom Hume. A lot of things were going my way on that last at bat.
We had to wait 2 innings before they called it a hit.
There's a base hit up the middle on an 0-2 pitch.
That is just unforgivable location on an 0-2 count. And Danny Batista just kind of at the mercy of the hitter right now. You look at this location. That is T-ball location. Out over the plate. Right at the belt. When a guy's up there protecting, the easiest thing to protect is your natural swing. And that fed right to his groove.
Here's Giannis. Giannis, a walk and a bunt single. Phillips with 8 steals. Rowan shading Giannis a couple of steps towards right center field. And a strike at the knees, 0-1.
Yeah, big difference this inning. I mean, he's at least getting a strike one. It's 3 times in a row this inning he's gotten ahead.
Fastball is high for Batista. 41 pitches since he came in to start out the third.
Got to pay attention to Brandon Phillips. He likes to walk into his leads. Got to make sure he's stopped.
Fouled, out of play. It's now 1-2. Romo up again, throwing in the Giants bullpen.
Will not take him long. He's already been up once. He says he can get ready in 8 pitches anyway. That's on a cold night in San Francisco. Here, when it's warm, no problem getting loose today.
One and 2 to Giannis. Phillips goes. Swinging a bouncing ball, foul. That time Phillips did get a little bit of a running start.
And Bautista, because he's so tall, he's 6'7", and it takes a while for him to get unwound. And see how he likes to lean in, and this is what he likes to do. You got to make him stop. Bautista will be between 1-3 and 1-4 consistently out of the stretch. And that's slow.
Away from Molina, and it'll be a free 90 feet for Phillips.
Nice read from Phillips at first base. Anticipating your secondary lead. As soon as you see that thing go down, you go. You know, that wasn't that bad of a pitch. You kind of got unlucky there the way the thing bounced into Molina. Thought that was actually a pretty good 1-2 pitch. Giannis did well to take it.
Pretty good pitch right there for Giannis, as he had a good rip at it, like a hanging slider. It stays 2-2.
Well, that's the book of Bautista. I mean, the longer you make him work, he's going to make location mistakes, and here's one right here. He got away with one. I mean, he's always had great velocity. He just hasn't had great command.
NJ Molina will come back, but it's going to be out of play.
That is the Wellemeyer clan. Very disappointed. Todd Wellemeyer had to leave this ballgame with a 4-0 lead after hitting in the top of the third, injuring his right leg. And the Reds have taken advantage of it.
A lot of jockeying back and forth with Sanchez. Sanchez asked for the ball, but Bautista chose not to throw it. And that is really up to the pitcher. He can do whatever he wants. He just can't come to the plate if the infielder's standing at second. foot of Giannis, and it stays 2-2.
Set up in the outside corner again. Another location mistake away from the knees.
Two and two. Buster Posey coming through the coach's box. And that'll bring up Joey Votto.
.49 pitches on the day for Bautista, and I got to believe he's good for about 70. But he's had everything out. You know, he throws out the stretch with everything, but it's been a stress release with a lot of having to pay attention to other things other than just the hitter. Stress throws that take a lot out of you.
It's the call on the high fastball. 0-1.
No guarantee you'll get it again.
Votto had a rip. It's now 0-2.
Man, I would make a living going down there to Prado 2 times in a row. He just missed that one. You know, if a guy gives you a wide strike though on the first pitch, which he did, I mean, I find it peculiar that they went on the inside corner. And this thing just sort of leaks right back out over the plate. I mean, ideally, go out there and take advantage of that wide strike as many times as he'll give it to you. I'm sure you'll see him go wide here on the 0-2.
Two.
If you get a gift on a strike, keep going to that same location, because if a guy keeps seeing that, he'll keep giving it to you. If you go away from it once and then come back to it, no guarantee you're going to get it.
At second is Phillips. Bautista, since he has come into the game, has slowed this game down. 2-2. Roland watching from the on deck circle. Nice play by Benji Molina. 3-2.
Ball in the dirt, trying to throw that breaking ball on top of home plate to get him to fish. Votto too good an eye to be lured into that one. But the idea was a good one.
Pitch number 55 from Denny Bautista. And here it is to Joey Votto. And it's fouled out of play.
Good pitch. And you do it again.
3-2. Side retired on the ground ball to Freddie Sanchez. He needs a nap. Here's Buster Posey to lead things off. A lot of times it just has to do with with a comfort level for guys. Some guys have a hard time going in feet first. Here's the 0-1 to Posey. You know, I used to go in feet first, and then I hurt my ankle, and then you change and you start to go in head first. But the bottom line is for safety factors, you should go in feet first.
Well, we just watched the study that they did. Last week we saw this, and they proved that it's faster to go in head first.
There's a flip job to right field, and this is going to be a base hit. You see a lot of guys slide head first into first base. The study did prove that it's faster just to run through the bag.
12 games, 7 multi-hit games. Another 2-hit game for Buster Posey. That's how you come on the scene.
Here's Benji Molina. Molina is 1 for 2.
Giants have had opportunity against Mike Leake today. Seems like he has been in the stretch all day long. And next pitch for Leake will be number 85.
Molina with a base hit to right field. That's a good sign. And with nobody out, here's Aaron Rowan.
Left-hander Daniel Ray Herrera getting loose now for Cincinnati.
Rowan is homered and he's walked. And Brian Price is coming out.
And the objective here for Price is take some time. It's the first time that Herrera has been up today, so he'll take 12 to 15 pitches to establish a fastball, maybe spin a few before they raise the cap and say he's ready.
Waiting to see who Bruce Bochy is going to bring out of the dugout to head out to the on-deck circle. Pat Burrell. Rowan homered in the second. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Perfect location on the first pitch. Back door in that slider, or the sinker rather.
Posey and Molina are your base runners.
So sinker, and a quick 0-2.
Rowan bounces it foul. In the second inning, we mentioned the home run. Just nice swing as it carried right out into the bleachers.
Had the sound, had the look, had the distance. Home run number 6 on the year for Rowan. Nice play from Ramon Hernandez to block that 0-2 sinker.
One and 2 to Aaron Rowan. Topper. Giannis is going to just get the out at second as he slipped trying to get there to maybe get a double play.
Hard infield. Boy, you really have to be impressed with what the middle infielders for the Reds have been able to do to seal off that hole up the middle. I mean, this is about the 4th time this series where they have been able to go and take a base hit away. And the no speed from Molino allowed plenty of time for Giannis to get over and get the force at second.
All right, here comes Dusty Baker. He's going to the bullpen. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and tune-up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. We'll be back.
He's come in. This is a guy you kind of bring in when you're looking for a ground ball. The low three-quarter high sidearm delivery. He gets lots of sinker guy, and Del Rosario's going to run up there. 88-92. He can cut the ball. He's got a slider and a changeup, but for the most part, you're going to see sinker slider, especially in this situation if you're Pat Burrell, a right-handed hitter.
So here's Burrell. 5 for 14 on this road trip. Posey at third, Rowan at first. Down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Under the glove of Scott Rowan. How in the heck did that happen?
That's a first. Scott Rowan is about as sure-handed an infielder as there is in baseball. And this is a ball just hit on a blister towards him from the bat of Pat Burrell, and you're figuring Burrell doesn't have great speed. This is going to be automatic double play inning ender. And it gets through the wickets on Burrell. The Giants score a run, and they got it set up to score some more. Now, granted, it was a seed, but still, we're talking about great hands, folks.
An error on Burrell, and now Torres has a shot. Andres Torres is 1 for 2. And now he's going to have to take a little out of that swing and try to put the ball in play. No balls and 2 strikes. Staying away, 1 and 2. Freddie Sanchez to follow. Three home runs on the year for Torres. 16 RBIs. And a full count.
0-2 to 3-2. Del Rosario, I mean, he's a tall drink of water, 6'2", 165 pounds. And a lot of times you see guys out of the Dominican, the weight and height you see is the year they signed when they were 16 years old. But I believe the 165 pounds. I think the first time we saw Armando Benitez, it said he was 6'4", 170 pounds. And they were about 100 pounds off.
Maybe an update once in a while? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think you need to kind of update those files.
3 and 2 to Andres Torres. And the walk, and they're loaded for Sanchez.
That's a great bat. You go 0-2 to a walk. That is a great bat. That one, you always hear that a walk's as good as a hit, which it is, but it really feels more like it's a hit when you defy the 0-2 count, work your way to a walk.
Here's Sanchez. Sanchez, Phillips, and they're going to do it again.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Freddie Sanchez can't believe it. Giants lead.
Yeah, by Kettle Brands. And Saturday will be Giants aluminum sport bottle presented by Coca-Cola and the Ronald McDonald House. And Sunday, June 13th, Lucy Bobblehead Day presented by AT&T. Go to sfgiants.com. And remember, with dynamic pricing, buy early and save.
Here's Romo facing Scott Rowland. Rowland 0 for 1. He had a sacrifice fly in the third.
Romo pitched in last night's ball game. He really had a problem getting the ball down around the knees. He was up, and that's something that we have not often seen from Romo. He's usually a guy that can paint knees on both sides of the plate. Came up out of the Giants minor league system with impeccable command and has carried into the big leagues. There you see 5 walks and 24 2/3 with 22 strikeouts. A free pitch guy, fastball, slurve, and a changeup.
Sandoval catches that on the line drive. 1 out. 2 great plays back to back. One in the 4th, one in the 5th, with the bases loaded to end innings.
Just a great at bat, and it came up to the backhand of Brandon Phillips. Now, we've been talking about how well the middle of the diamond has played here in Cincinnati, and you can see a guy who never gets frustrated, throws a helmet. I mean, Sanchez is always very stoic in his emotion, but that one got to him. Just a brilliant play from Phillips.
Gomes takes a strike. Gomes had an infield hit in the 3rd. Giants with a 5-4 lead here in the 5th inning.
That's the Romo slider that you've grown so accustomed to seeing. So consistent. And then last night he had a roll in the slider. He was up with everything. Just didn't recognize that guy. But today, coming right back into a nice groove and a quick 0-2. Johnny Gomes
throws it again and misses. 1-2. One out, nobody on here in the 5th.
Ooh. Pitch just missed. Set up on that inside corner, just about a ball low. That's no exaggeration.
And hammered into left center field. Rowan's going to get to it. Gomes is digging for 2, and the throw is going to be offline.
Now, that's an example of a personal preference. We had a question earlier in the game about why do you slide head first or feet first. This was really not a situation where you even had to slide at all except to stop your momentum, and he charged that bag on a belly. Goes out, hits the knee-high fastball outside corner, finds a gap, and he's thinking double off the get-go. And he's got good speed, but here, watch how he slows down. Belly slide for style points. That ball was 15 feet away from the bag. Some guys just like to get dirty.
Here's Jay Bruce, 2 for 2, a couple of singles. Sanchez from out on the grass will throw out Bruce. Gomes moves to 3rd, and here's Stubbs. Well, here's a rematch of a guy who took Romo deep in the game last night.
Yeah, we showed the replay of that pitch. It was up. Pretty much where Romo was all night long. But he's made some nice adjustments to his release point today. He's got back down around the knees where he belongs, where every pitcher belongs.
Inside corner, 0-1. Gomes at third. Swing. Gonna miss. 0-2. Wellemeyer struck out Stubbs in the second. Batista struck out Stubbs in the third. Quick throw to third, and Gomes is back. Benji Molina with a nice block. It's 1-2.
You got to be fearless. You really do. Runner at third base, 1-run ball game. The window of opportunity was not that big. Still, no hesitation whatsoever trying to pick him off. Ball gets by him. It's a tie ball game. Benji Molina, no fear.
2-2 now to Stubbs. Five runs on 11 hits for the Giants, 4 runs on 7 hits for the Reds. We are in the 5th inning.
Fisher just not biting on that breaking ball. I mean, that's a good 2-2 pitch, but Stubbs says not for me. But this is a pretty good teaser. You can see just how big that frisbee breaking ball is.
Molina threw down some suggestions. Romo steps off. Topped foul. And we'll do it again. He threw him a breaking ball. Starting to get involved into this one. It's 3-2 to Drew Stubbs. Nice afternoon crowd here in Cincinnati. Roll foul again.
Pretty good fight going on right here between Stubbs and Romo.
Back-to-back 3-2 breaking balls. See what Romo does here. 3-2. Stubbs fights off another one.
Another perfect pitch. I mean, he is shaving that plate right now, and Stubbs has to get out and cover. He's taking the balance completely out of the bat as Drew Stubbs fights to stay alive.
Pitch number 18 in the inning for Romo. Got him. 5-4 Giants. Fountain Square, it's 5-4 Giants, 6th inning. New pitcher for Dusty Baker. It's Daniel Herrera, the little lefty.
5'6" Daniel Ray Herrera, who's not going to really impress you with velocity, but he's got lots of movement and a screwball. 27 games he's been in, 16 innings worth of work.
Well, the Giants saw him last night, and they saw him on Monday night. He got the loss on Monday.
What does Bruce Jenkins call these guys? Loogies? Lefty one out guys?
This pop-up is over by the Reds on-deck circle, and it's out of play.
Every time I think about that, it makes me smile.
Well, he can't be that today.
No, today he's not going to be a loogie. Today he's going to have to throw an inning.
Sandoval does have a couple of hits. He's behind in the count right now, 0-2. And he is out swinging.
And there is that screwball. He's set up on the right in the middle of the plate. And the ball just has a little bit of movement away. It doesn't take much to mess with you. Plus, it's 66 miles per hour. You're out front anyway. And Herrera gets a quick strikeout.
Here's Aubrey Huff. Double and a home run and a walk. Two balls and no strikes. Juan Uribe is on deck. The final game of this 7-game road trip. 3 in Pittsburgh, 4 here in Cincinnati.
And this game represents a lot. If the Giants lose this game, it's still a good road trip. They would go 4-3. If they win this game, it becomes a great road trip. And it brings lots of momentum back into the Bay Bridge series this weekend.
Huff taking the 3-0 pitch. Juan Uribe to follow. Well, Sunday, June 13th, it's not only the Lucy Bobblehead giveaway day at the ballpark, it's the annual Team Up for Girls Day. Fans will be attending the Giants-A's game, will be treated to a pregame panel discussion with celebrity dads and their accomplished daughters. Dave Rigetti will be there. My partner will be there. My old neighbor Brent Jones will be there. And I'll be there, and we'll be there with our girls. So come on out to the ball game. Go to sfgiants.com. One ball and one strike. High and foul, and Uribe now behind in the count, 1-2. Buster Posey's on deck. Huff on base for the 4th time with his lead at first. And Uribe, all of the strength it took not to swing at that pitch.
Yeah, I think he used more strength not swinging than he uses strength swinging. Big slow curveball, perfect location with it from Herrera, trying to tease him into it.
That's where Hernandez wanted it inside. It's now 3-2. Throw a 3-2 screwball. That would be pretty good if you could pull it off.
Oh yeah, that's his game. Are you kidding? He has to do that.
I don't know, where was that?
I don't know. I think Dreck was one of those guys who just doesn't want to call strike 3. And there's umpires like that. They get you to a quick 2-strike count, no problem. But then on the payoff. But that, upon further review, looks like it could have been a little bit up and in.
Never mind what we just said all before that.
Yeah, Bruce, we think you're a good guy.
It's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Aaron Harang, an old KG veteran, thinking he's going to steal strike 1 with his breaking ball. And it's a unique breaking ball, and he hits it out. Right now, it's going to be Nick Massett, the right-hander, coming in for Dusty Baker. 32nd time that he has come in. He has been a horse. ERA bloated, but he has excellent stuff. He'll go 90 to 96 with a high 3/4 release. Can be a bit straight at times. He does have a hard slider and a split. Those are his specialty pitches.
Chris Heisey is now in center field. And Buster Posey drives this one into right center field. Heisey will get some work, and he will track it down. Tagging his Huff, he will go to third. So Posey gives it a ride, and here's Benji Molina, who's got a couple of hits. Plus, Mike, you see a guy's first major league home run, and you get to check out his trot. Trots are important. He's kind of got the Matt Williams trot. You know, put your head down and move on around the bases.
Humble trot. Humble trots are good. Benji Molina having a good day today with the bat.
This should end the inning, and it does. On the ground ball to short. It remains 5-4 Giants.
Up with one out in the third, and he went yard against Mike Leake, the Reds starter. That's our Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Santiago Casilla is on to pitch the 6th inning. It's been Wellemeyer, Batista, Romo, and now Casilla.
11 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings, and at times he has been absolutely overwhelming with a mid to high 90s fastball with lots of life, a slider, and a curveball that has just been almost unhittable. He is bringing in some closer stuff.
Eli Whiteside on the double switch. Whiteside will hit in the 9th spot. Here's Ramon Hernandez. Fastball is high. Hernandez is lined out to left, and he's popped out to short. 5-4 Giants here in the 6th. Two balls and no strikes. Heisey on deck, and then Phillips. Hit out to right field, but in the park for Andres Torres. 1 out.
This crowd is really conditioned.
So they are.
I'll tell you how live this ballpark is. They're so used to home runs. This is the Cincinnati Reds team that leads the National League in home runs, but every fly ball that gets hit, they start to gasp and say ooh and ah. Some of these balls that have been caught have been, you know, medium depth.
Can of corn.
Can of corn.
Here's Heisey. Fastball outside. 96, 1 ball and no strikes.
The movement from Casilla can be unpredictable. It's not an easy guy to catch.
There's a base hit into left field. On a 1-0 pitch. As he coming into that at bat was hitting 226. So
nice.
Here's Phillips.
Nice pitch to hit.
Phillips singles in his last 2 times up. He's 2 for 3. And you see it through a changeup over to Buster Posey.
And we've seen him throw some flames over to first. That had to feel a bit funny for Posey, as that ball took about 30 seconds to get to him.
Strike to Phillips. Phillips, not sure what he's upset with Bruce Dreckman about, but he did the palms up thing to him.
He gave the look as to, you expect me to hit that? Let's take a look. Where exactly was this pitch? Phillips, what are you talking about? Right down the throat.
Well, his reaction, I thought maybe he'd asked for time, but he didn't. Base hit into right field. It's going to be up to Torres to keep Heisey at second, and he does.
Boy, Phillips has done that so well in this series. Just inside outs. You get a hole over there at first base with a runner being held on by the first baseman, and open up some space for him, and he just picks it clean. Watch the knob lead through the swing. Inside out, thing of beauty. Boy, that's perfect execution. And it's tough to pitch the guy that can do that to you.
Here's Giannis, a walk, a bunt single, and a pop-up to Buster Posey in foul territory. No balls and 1 strike.
Not out of bad first pitch slider.
Down low. Joey Votto on deck. 5-4 Giants, 6th inning. Good pitch to make it 1-2.
That was a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. I have to say he's stretched out now. And that's not a hot gun. I mean, he's put up 99s in towns where they've had slow guns.
And he struck him out swinging.
That's a great 1-2 pitch. I mean, that's basically the same pitch he started the at bat with. A little slider, but the location is what makes the pitch. You got a 1-2 count on the guy. Here's where you take advantage of the count. You throw it down and hope he chases. He gets a fisherman, and that's a big out. Grab some pine, meat.
Here's Joey Votto. 0 for 2. He's walked with the bases loaded. Ball in, 1 ball and no strikes.
That 98 on the inside corner around your shin bones will definitely get your attention. And for these guys that are facing Casilla for the first time, that's how you get impressed. Jump away from that to a 1-0 count thinking, who is this guy?
There's the breaking ball. 2 balls and no strikes.
But the one thing you take from that first pitch at 98 is you got to take swing out and get quick. And every one of these guys has that ability to make adjustments to speed. They wouldn't be here, especially hitting third. Otto ranks top 10 in the National League in average, on-base percentage, and slugging percentage.
Well, he's anticipating a pretty good pitch to hit. Why wouldn't you? 2 balls and no strikes. Whiteside now is going to have a word.
One thing you don't want to do is get crossed up from Santiago Casilla. If you're looking breaking ball and he throws 98 at you, you could get hurt. So Eli Whiteside, Casilla going to talk it over. He may have been putting down the hand signs in English, and he wants Whiteside to put the hand signs down in Spanish. Could happen.
Yep.
At second base, Heisey. At first, Phillips. Three and 0.
And we have definitely seen Dusty Baker turn guys loose at a 3-0 count. We've been on base down 1 run in the game.
Like that. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Like that. I mean, Dusty Baker was a great hitting coach before he became a manager. And the one thing that he always stressed to every hitter he ever had was get a good pitch to hit. And a 3-0 cripple is something that he feels he can have his hitter do some damage with. But some guys aren't comfortable with it.
Now it's 3-2.
How about a 100-mile-an-hour fastball knee high in the outside corner? You can't hit it. And I'm not sure if it did catch the plate, but it was close enough. Now, will you get it again if you throw it? I don't know. But Votto's going to have to cover it. That was nasty.
Runners will be on the move. 3-2. Votto waiting, and he fouls it out of play.
Again, high velocity 99 to him on a 3-2.
Heisey and Phillips will take off. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And again, Casilla and Whiteside trying to get on the same page, and now they are. And that is ball 4. Now you don't have a base to play with.
Oh, and you're also bringing your top RBI guy to the dish with the bags drunk.
Heisey, Phillips, Votto.
And Roland loves the first pitch in this situation, and he is going to look for one thing: high velocity gas. Did not miss by much.
One ball and no strikes to Scott Rowland. Foul at the plate to even the count. That caught home plate umpire Bruce Dreckman. The 1-1 to Rowland. High fly ball. Andres Torres is underneath it, and he will put it away to end the inning, and the Reds will leave them loaded. 7th inning coming up. Snap. It'll go like this. 5-4 lead for the Giants. Huff's had a nice day. Rowan's got a home run. Gomes has got a couple of hits. And Cincinnati has turned 3 double plays with the bases loaded, and 2 of them have been spectacular. And that's our McDonald's game summary. Here's Massett facing Rowan, then Whiteside, then Torres. On the ground, foul. Rowan is homered, walked, and he's bounced into a fielder's choice.
I mean, the Giants have had opportunity. 11 hits. There's been 7 walks.
Well, Wellemeyer, if you remember, when he got injured, he was hitting with the bases loaded. He bounced into an inning-ending double play, and then it was the next inning where Giannis made the great play, and the next inning Phillips made the great play.
Oh, I remember.
Rowan gets hit, and here's the injury to Wellemeyer as he was trying to beat this out.
And trying to stay out of the double play as he comes across the bag. Watch him grab the right side, and it was something high up in his leg. May have been a hip, but obviously it was something he could not go on, and you know it was killing him. He was throwing the ball well. He had a 4-run lead, and he had 30 passes in the stands as he's from Louisville, Kentucky. It's just, you know, he did not want to leave.
Here's Whiteside. Eli Whiteside batting for the first time. Whiteside rolls this bunt foul, and it's 0-1.
You know, normally you would come into this ballpark and you'd say, this is not the kind of place that you would play for 1 run. I mean, if you think back to the Coors Field days, Don Baylor, their first manager, said, you know, you never wanted to give up an out because the ballpark was so live, it was so offensive. To a degree, you feel the same way here.
Well, I think one of the reasons Whiteside's bunting, Mike, is to stay out of the double play. It's kind of been the theme of this game for the Giants.
Kind of the theme of the year.
And he bunts another one foul.
Giants have grounded into 62 double plays, and that is by far the most double plays in the National League by any offensive unit.
How many?
62.
I thought it was worse than that.
Let's count the 3 today.
0-2 to Whiteside. High and away. 1-2.
The Giants left on 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth.
One ball and 2 strikes. Rowan goes. Swing and a foul back. Whiteside had a pretty good rip. And I think Hernandez would have had a pretty good shot at throwing Rowan out.
You can tell. There's Bochy putting the runner in play for one reason. And I think you're right. I think he'd have been out by 15 feet. Rowan didn't have a great jump.
Towards the hole. And the long throw, not nearly in time. And I'm getting really tired of Giannis, I got to tell you.
He's put on a show. I mean, you talk about a guy with a golden glove. He has just been spectacular. And here, the Giants got to be thinking, what the heck do they have to do to get a ball to the outfield? Completely lays out. And if he'd have gotten out off that one, I think the Giants would have just said, okay, we quit.
Yep.
What a beautiful play.
Well, now, Andres Torres, what will he be asked to do?
going to bunt with 1 on and nobody out. You're going to bunt with 2 on and nobody out.
And this is a good bunt. And they will get Torres. You better be on your toes with Torres going down the line. And here's Sanchez. Sanchez 0 for 4. But that really doesn't tell the whole story. He's had some good at bats. Infield is all the way in. Low, 1 ball and no strikes. Rowan at third, Whiteside at second. On a warm Cincinnati afternoon. And the Giants hanging on to a 5-4 lead. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Good fastball from Massive.
This was the play that Phillips made on Sanchez, and one of the reasons Sanchez was visibly upset. Remember, he had the at bat in Pittsburgh that ended the game with the bases loaded. He had an at bat yesterday where he hit the ball in the alley with the bases loaded. Drive to left. Rowan is going to go back to tag. He is now going to come in to score. Whiteside had to hustle to third. And Freddie Sanchez feeling a lot better.
Well, he's got to feel a little vindication there with that swing of the bat. That was a bullet. But I have to believe that there was some apprehension as he was going down the baseline celebration, because this ball was hanging up, and then it gets down and indeed drops in. But watch Whiteside at second base. I mean, he has to freeze to see if it's going to get caught, and then in doing so, he gave Johnny Gomes a little bit of an advantage and tried to shoot him down.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Be back. He is now at short. This is a double switch. And Arthur Rhodes is on the hill.
And what a year he's been having. We mentioned this the other night. We got some text messages, but people thought we were kidding when we said that 28 appearances on the year for Rhodes. He allowed a run in his second appearance of the year back in April, and he hasn't allowed one since. 25 strikeouts and 25 in the third. He has just been fantastic. And Rhodes is a guy who's going to give you a fastball 90-94s with a slider, an occasional changeup just to stay in shape. But his command has been impeccable when the Giants have seen him in this series.
Sandoval in an RBI opportunity. And he is late. No balls and 1 strike. Whiteside at third. Sanchez at first.
Giants try to get a little separation here against the Reds.
And the squeeze is on, and Sandoval never saw it. And now Whiteside is in a rundown, and Whiteside is going to be tagged out. Well, it's hard to speculate whether it was Whiteside, Flannery, or Sandoval's mistake, but there was a mistake.
Well, it isn't going to be Whiteside because he's got the sign. It's a verbal sign from Flannery. And I doubt if it's going to be Flannery. And clearly, Sandoval surprised when he saw Whiteside coming down the line. And in his mind, it means only one thing: I missed the sign.
Popped up over by the sidewall, and catching it is Votto, and that'll end the inning. Giants do pick up a run. It's 6-4 San Francisco.
Coming home, and tomorrow night you'll see Lincecum Gonzalez matchup. You'll see it on NBC Bay Area. Then Saturday it'll be a Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area with Zito taking on Sheets, and then a Kane Mazzaro matchup, and you'll see that on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Saturday's Giants pregame at 5:30. Sunday's Giants pregame at 12:30. Join us if you would for a weekend, and the Giants can't wait to get home. 6-4 Giants as we head to the bottom of the 7th.
Gomes is 2 for 3. Casilla back out to pitch the 7th. He's thrown 21 pitches.
Gomes has swung it well today. Oh, an unusual play. 1 out, runners at first and third. You got your number 3 hitter up there. You say, why would he be sacrificing? Well, game 2 of this series, Arthur Rhodes faced Pablo Sandoval and blew him away with high fastballs. And after Bochy watched the first swing through on a fastball, he put the squeeze on, and Sandoval did not get it.
Swing and a miss by Gomes. I mean, the bottom line is you can have a very strong opinion whether you think the squeeze is a good play or not, but a player not getting the sign is unforgivable.
It's unforgivable.
1-2.
Good hard slider from Casilla. But that's the kind of stuff that takes momentum out of a dugout. You're sitting on the first and third, 1 out. Here's the heart of your lineup up there, and you get with the little bird left on the rock. That takes steam out of your troops.
And Gomes will sit down.
2 sliders he swung through, and he takes a breaking ball, a curveball. And that's exactly how Casilla likes to use this curveball. He likes to save it for a 2-out surprise. And that is a gift.
Yep.
I understand Johnny Gomes being upset about that call.
Here's Jay Bruce. Bruce swings and misses. Bruce waiting on Casilla. Very high, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Very high, very wide.
Foul back. It's now 1-2. Swing and a miss.
Boy, he set it up for another curveball. Just basically high school pitch. He'd get ahead with the fastball and finish him off with the hook. But at that velocity of the fastball and that type of a breaking ball, even big league hitters, knowing that it's coming or suspecting that it's coming, can't hit it.
Remember that movie you and I went to in New York where that guy sat in front of me?
Yeah.
That's how big his head was.
Yeah, just about. That I will attest to. The only guy in the theater.
Here's Cabrera, who takes a strike.
I really have to tell this story. It was a lunchtime 11:30 show. We go in right there off of Broadway, Manhattan. You and I walk in the theater. There was a huge theater.
Oh.
We were the only guys there. The only guys.
And I'll finish the story. And that guy sat in front of me.
And I told you I wasn't moving.
He was smiling too.
Event ticket holders are going to receive a giant Pandaval bobblehead featuring Pablo Sandoval as his alter ego, the Kung Fu Panda. Proceeds from every special event ticket will be donated directly to the San Francisco Zoo. The bobblehead is only available through the special ticket offer, so to get yours, you got to call 415-972-229, or you can visit sfgiants.com/special events.
Do promo of the Zoo, and we see John. Whoa! That's what we're talking about.
John's kind of a zoo.
Aubrey Huff facing Arthur Rhodes. followed by Juan Uribe, and then Buster Posey. Sky to left, moving back is Gomes, and Gomes will put it away. The Cincinnati fans boo every guy out of the bullpen for the Reds except Arthur Rhodes.
Yep.
And Dusty Baker keeps telling everybody, listen, I can't use this guy all the time. I gotta take my spots with him. He has been fabulous. Here's Uribe. Uribe walked in the first, doubled in the third, hit into a double play in the fourth on a great play by Giannis, and then he walked again in the sixth.
When you get a guy going like Rhodes has got it going right now, I mean, that's an unbelievable weapon, because you can just count on him putting up a zero. That's what he's done. And for a manager, you could use that guy every day.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to keep yourself from wearing it out.
And this is a 40-year-old reliever.
Mighty swing on a 2-0 count. 2 balls and 1 strike.
You know, that's the one thing that, you know, some managers, they manage a little bit differently. Dusty's always been a guy who would always manage with the idea of having something left 2 or 3 days down the road. And at times he would absolutely take a loss, knowing that it was probably something that was in the best interest of his club. Felipe Alou was an umpire or a manager that, you know, he managed every day like it was the 7th game of the World Series, like there was going to be no tomorrow. Different philosophies. Both guys have had great results with their managing.
Uribe works it to a 3-2 count against Rhodes with Buster Posey on deck. And the walk. Well, I think if you're a Giants fan, then what you'd like to tell Dusty Baker is make sure you rest Arthur Rhodes the next 3 games against the Royals.
Yeah, so he'll be nice and fresh when the Dodgers come rolling into town on Monday. But I don't think you have to really talk to Dusty to give him some extra incentive against the Dodgers. It's kind of there.
Mr. Posey 2 for 4. Swing and a miss. Nothing in 2. Yamamoto getting loose.
Buster Posey coming out of his shoes on that 0-1 fastball.
And he got him. First strikeout for Rhodes. Here's Matt Downs.
Fourth strikeout for Posey in 45 at bats. He doesn't strike out much.
How many at bats?
45.
So he's like 10 for 100. Here's Downs with a swing and a miss.
Yep.
It's a lot at all.
1 every 10. That's way acceptable. Especially if you're going to hit for average like he's done.
Downs hitting at 243. Aaron Rowan on deck. At first, Juan Uribe.
Well, he's throwing right through the target. It's great finish on Arthur Rhodes' fastball. He doesn't even see that hitter. He's throwing right through Ramon Hernandez.
Downs wanted to go but held up. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. This has been one of those games. It's a scout's dream.
Yeah.
Because you're going to see everybody.
The whole team.
Downs, little pop-up out to Phillips, and that will end the inning. Mota will come in. It's 6-4 Giants. Phillips is now in right field. And on the hill is Guillermo Mota.
Mota, the setup man for the Giants, is having a great first half. 24th time he's come in. Just been amazingly consistent with his stuff, with his command. And he is going to face Ramon Hernandez to start things off here for the Reds here in the bottom of the 8th. The thing about Mota that's so impressive is just the consistency with his velocity. It is just automatic. And we reinforce it every time he comes in there. And you're going to see 95. You're going to see command.
Mota has pitched in the series. He pitched on Monday. And he pitched the perfect inning. So here's Ramon Hernandez. No swing, 1 ball and no strikes.
96. Just introduce himself to Hernandez.
Hernandez is lined out to left. He's popped out to short. He's hit a fly ball to right field. And a shot into left field to lead off the 8th. And here's Heisey. Heisey came into the 6th inning. Actually, that was his first at bat, and he singled. He did come in earlier on the double switch. The right-handed hitting Chris Heisey. And a fastball for a strike. That's where Mota wants to be. He wants to be 0-1. Phillips on deck. 1 ball and 1 strike. 23 hits in this game, 13 from the Giants, 10 for the Reds. Swing and a miss.
Boy,
1-2.
That's a perfect slider. That is a tight, wound, late breaking, nasty little perfectly placed slider. And it gets Heisey out front.
That'll be a souvenir. Fan dropped it. Another fan picked it up. Part of the 19,241 here at the ballpark this afternoon. driven out into left field, and Torres is going to have it shoot by him. Heisey's got a double. Stopping at third is Hernandez. All right, now things are interesting.
Well, they certainly are. A nice at bat, 2 strikes to Heisey. It's a pretty good pitch to hit. Nice compact swing and a 2-strike, and this ball jumped off his bat. Finds a gap. They had cheated over and had Torres playing towards that left center field gap, but even Torres' speed could not catch up to that line drive. So Reds making some noise.
Here's Phillips. Phillips 3 for 4, 3 for his last 3.
The Reds so tough here. They don't believe they can lose here. They've had a lot of comeback wins here. 96 from Moto, reaching back for that fastball.
Moto will step off the slab. It's 0-1 to Brandon Phillips. Outside to even the count.
Ooh, not by much.
Lance Nix is on deck. Off the end of the bat, it's now 1-2.
Well, it looked like he was trying to take a shot to right field again.
Well, he's done it very well today.
Not a lot of lower body in the swing, just kind of all hands. Just kind of put yourself in position and just inside out, looking the other way.
Mona digging deep, trying to go for the strikeout. Hernandez at second. Heisey checked at Hernandez at third. Heisey at second.
Big pitch right here. Tried to come back and backdoor that sinker at 95. He two-seamed the grip, and he just missed pulling it off. Missed by probably the width of a baseball. I will say this, Brandon Phillips got quite an eye. You're taking that at 2-strike. You got confidence in that guy calling some balls and strikes.
This one off the facing of the upper deck and then down below. Second and third, nobody out. And a 2-2 pitch coming up to Brandon Phillips.
Oh, boy. Again, he goes outside. I mean, it's great location with the fastball, and you got a base to play with.
3-2. Driven to right. This will tie the game. Phillips is going to go for 3. And he is going to make it. It is 6-6.
How about this at bat? We've seen him do it all series long, and this is not a hanger. That's 3-2 paint at 96, and he goes inside it and goes right field line and gets it past Sherholtz, and with his speed, once it rattles around the corner, an easy take a third. What an at bat from Brandon Phillips. That's the big leagues right there. That's a guy making a pitch. It was not a hanger. He made the pitch he wanted, and Phillips just going down and beating it. It's quite an at bat.
Dave Righetti out.
Boy, a 4-hit day. That's 2 days in a row that the Giants have seen the leadoff hitter for the Reds come up with a 4-hit day. Last night it was Orlando Cabrera. Today, Brandon Phillips, 3 of which have gone to right field on a bolt, but this one is most impressive. AB. They stayed on one side of the plate the whole at bat, and Brandon Phillips put on a great AB.
So 3 straight hits, a single, a double, and a triple. And here's Nix, and the Giants will have to play the infield in. Breaking ball for a strike. Nix a .253 hitter. Hauls it back, and now it's 0-2.
I mean, really just an excellent 2-strike hit. You think back to Heisey's double on the 2-strike. That wasn't great location for Mota. But the 3-2 fastball that Brandon Phillips beat him on, that was a good pitch location.
Uribe will grab it. Nix is retired. And here's Votto. Votto is 0 for 2, a couple of walks, 1 with the bases loaded. Dan Runsler is in the Giants bullpen. Infield stays in. Up the middle, under the glove of Mota, and the Reds take the lead.
Now that's the one that really drives you crazy.
Yeah, Mota thought he had it.
It's kind of a medium hit ground ball that you just can't get down on enough to glove it. You're thinking you have it all the way, and he just kind of gets a changeup. You expect a little more ground ball than what he got.
Here's Scott Rowland.
Brandon Phillips bringing a lot of smiles down to that Reds dugout. And that at bat, my friend, will make you smile. That was quite an effort.
Rowland is 0 for 3. Mota is saying something to Votto or saying something to the umpire. I'm not sure what it is.
Votto's waving off saying, my bad. But Mota heard something that definitely fueled a fire. I'm going to try, normally, Guillermo Mota is pretty mellow. But something has gotten under his skin. Gary Darling's got to walk away. I mean, he's a third base umpire. I don't know why he was getting in the face of Mota.
So here's Roland. No balls and one strike to Scott Rolen.
Good numbers, lifetime.
One ball and one strike. Giants in the ninth inning will have Rowand, Whiteside, and Torres. And this is going to be a double play as Buster Posey will catch it and he will step on the bag and that'll end the inning. So when it's all said and done, Votto forgot what was going on.
"16 saves and 20 opportunities. He has blown 4. 32nd time he's come in. 27 strikeouts in 29 innings. And when you face Cordero, you're going to see mid to high 90s velocity on the fastball, the slider, and a good changeup.
And Aaron Rowand will lead things off. Giants trail by 1. And Rowand takes low. Giants will give you a fight. They have all year, and you expect them to do it again today. Rowand hits this one off the end of the bat, and it's going to carry out to Heisey. 1 out. And here's Eli Whiteside. Whiteside had an infield hit in the 7th inning. His job right now, try to get on or try to knock one out. Fouls this one off of Hernandez, and it's 0-1.
Well, you know it. He's got power to knock it out. We've seen him do it. Right now, if you're going to knock it out against Cordero, you're probably going to have to do it to the opposite field because he is going to pound the outside corner.
The 1-1 to Whiteside. Center field. Heisey. 2 outs. And last chance is Andres Torres. Torres 1 for 2. And this little guy's got enough pop to tie it up with one swing of the bat. One ball and one strike.
Yeah, he was swinging for it right there. Had some count leverage, sitting in a 1-0 count. And he let out a little shaft. Again, Cordero pounding that outside corner.
Two and two.
The Reds have not had a 1-2-3 inning all day.
Maybe a play for Hernandez or Rowan, and Rowan will make the catch, and that's the ball game. So the Giants end up splitting this 4-game series, and they not happy about that. They won the first 2 games, only to have the Reds come back and win the last 2. So opportunities missed today, and an injury to Todd Wellemeyer. Bad combination.
Well, you really are upset when you get 13 hits and you get 8 walks and a hit batsman. A lot of opportunity. They just once again fell victim to the double play.
Tune in to NBC Barrie tomorrow night at 7, Giants and A's. We'll be back with you on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area Saturday for Game 2 of the series.